God bless you, Bishop Robert Stearns. My son's coming to you here in the season of Hanukkah. Hanukkah is upon us. And we're getting ready to light the first lights of Hanukkah. And we're going to be coming every day and sharing the story, the miracle of Hanukkah, and why it's important. It's a festival that Jesus celebrated. Sometimes we think of it solely as a Jewish tradition, and we don't realize it stretches all the way back to the time of Jesus, but it does. And so we want to understand the miracle of Hanukkah, the story of Hanukkah. Tomorrow night, we're going to talk about the miracles in the story. But tonight, I want to set a little bit the scene of the history of the story of Hanukkah. We're going to start about the history of Hanukkah. And we have to understand that the area around the Middle East has always constantly been fought over. Generation after generation, this part of the world, empire after empire, has fought over the Middle East, and yet the Jewish people have had an uninterrupted presence in Jerusalem and in the land of Israel all the way back to King David, and even before King David, that promise came to Abraham. So at this time of the Second Temple, there is Antiochus III. He's the leader of the Hellenistic Empire. This is a Greek-influenced empire, but he was kind of a live and let live guy. He was fine for the Jews to have their traditions. He did not mind the people under his rulership having their own traditions, their own religion. But his son rises up, Antiochus IV, and he does not like this. He says, no, if you're going to be under Greek rule, then I don't want any other customs. I don't want any other religions. I want everything centralized under this Hellenistic Greek rule. And that's where things got difficult. Isn't it interesting that sometimes those who preach tolerance the most are the least tolerant? And so Antiochus was this kind of guy, and he got involved in fighting over the temple in Jerusalem. He ended up invading the temple in Jerusalem and setting up an altar to the Greek gods in the midst of the temple. Well, this was kind of finally an enough is enough moment for the priestly family led by Matthias. Matthias had 7 sons, and they became known as the Maccabees. And I didn't know this till I started studying for this, that Maccabees, I thought that was just their family name. It wasn't. Maccabees was what they came to be called. It means hammer in Aramaic. And they were so strong. There were 7 brothers. We need 4 more of you guys. You're 3/4 of the way. Yeah, exactly. You need 4 more. They became the Maccabees, the hammers, because of the strength that they had in fighting for their beliefs and in fighting for the holiness of the temple. So their father, Mattatyahu, and his sons, the Maccabees, the hammers, became known for their ferocity in battle. And in 164, they scored this major victory. They captured Jerusalem. They cleansed the temple of all of these false idols, these false gods that Antiochus IV had brought in. And on the 25th day of Kislev, they rededicated the temple. Now we're going to talk about the miracle tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow night. We'll talk about the miracles. But that is the history of Hanukkah. It's the Jewish people fighting for their right to be a distinct and unique people, just like Christian people are called. Christians are called to be in the world, but not of it. And God spoke to the children of Israel. He said, you are to be a holy nation unto me. And so that's the history. Sometimes the world doesn't like it when you stick out on your own. Sometimes the world doesn't like it when you stand up for what you believe in, even though you can believe in everything else. But if you believe in the God of the Bible, somehow that becomes something that the world turns against. And so the story of Hanukkah is not a story only for the Jews. It's a story for Jews, for Christians, and for anyone else who's willing to stand up for what's right, to stand up for what they believe in, and to light that light in their heart. So with that, we are going to light the first light of Hanukkah, and we're going to do our best with the blessing. This is one we're kind of getting our way through this. We know the first half of it really well, but the second half of it, we're gonna make it work. So here's the blessing, and Daniel, do you want to light the candle? And we'll do the blessing while Daniel, you go ahead and light the shamash. This is the head candle, and then we'll light the first light, okay? Here we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechiyanu v'mechiyanu v'higiyanu lizman hazeh. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us and brought us forth to this night. And with that, we light this. And beloved, that is how change comes. Change comes, right? When we light the fire in our heart, and then we let that light the fire in others. That's our responsibility. You light the flame in your heart, and then it lights the flame in others. We'll see you tomorrow night when we talk more about the miracle of Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.